Good morning students. Today we are going to learn about the conical pendulum. Now as there are many types of pendulum, bar pendulum, compound pendulum, we have the Foucault pendulum, simple pendulum, but in our syllabus only we have the conical pendulum and the simple pendulum. Now let's see first what is a simple pendulum. Now a simple pendulum, it's defined as a pendulum which is being suspended by a heavy particle, suspended by a rigid support, and which is having a weightless, massless, twistless, inextensible string. Suppose this is the string, it's being attached to the weightless, massless, inextensible string by a rigid support, and it made to oscillate. Then this bob starts oscillating from the mean position. Suppose this is the at rest equilibrium position, it will start oscillating to and fro from the mean position. So this oscillation of the bob is called as a simple pendulum. So when a heavy mass which we have considered as a point mass suspended by a support made to oscillate to and fro or performing a simple harmonic motion, it's become a simple pendulum. Now what is then conical pendulum? When the same simple pendulum is whirled in the horizontal circle, so it is forming a circular motion. Here we are getting that the same simple pendulum is made to whirl in the horizontal circle. So can you see that here the string is making a cone with the circle. So and conical pendulum, it's defined as a simple pendulum where the bob describes a horizontal circle and string is making a cone with the horizontal circle. That's why, since it is making a cone, that's why the name become a conical pendulum. Now let's derive the formula for this. Here we have they ask the definition, define conical pendulum, define simple pendulum, and obtain the expression for the period and the frequency of the conical pendulum. So here understood, here the bob is describing a cone with the horizontal circle, and here the string is making a cone. So here the heavy mass we have considered as a point mass, this we are considered as a bob, which is a point mass. Okay, so let the bob is having the mass m, so its total weight always acts in the downward direction, therefore mg acts in the downward direction, and as I pull the bob to the right hand side and release so that it is oscillating, so here I have seen that the bob is imparted a tension in the string. Here we have the component tension T in the string. Now as I saw the bob is revolving in the horizontal circle, so my tension T will vanish, it has no work then. So what I have done now, to get this tension, or we have to use this tension, I have resolved the tension into two components. The vertical component of tension is become T cos theta, and the horizontal component of the tension which is there in the string and the bob is called as the T sin theta. Vertical component T cos theta, horizontal component T sin theta. Now why I have made this two diagram? Here see that one is having the inertial frame of reference, the another one is in the non-inertial frame of reference. What's that? In the 11th standard we have done in detail about the inertial and the non-inertial frame of reference. The frame of reference which is fixed or moving with the constant velocity, it's called as the inertial frame of reference. When the observer, suppose I am standing here and I am looking the bob from outside, so according to me the bob is revolving in an anti-clockwise sense, the string is making a cone, I will see that it is going with the same speed and the bob is there in the horizontal circle. So when the observer is in the fixed or a constant velocity frame of reference, then it is called as inertial frame of reference. Now when you are sitting on the bob, or suppose you have made you made the ant to sit on the bob, so ant is on the bob, so you are there in an accelerated frame of reference. Ant is there on the bob, so according to that, here the ant will see that there is one more force which pushes the ant in the opposite direction. Here what we have got, the bob is revolving along the radius in the horizontal towards the center. So here this is the motion where we are getting the radius vector is going towards the center. Whereas when the ant is there on the bob, in this case the ant will experience an outward push, and this outward push to the bob is nothing but equal to the what? A centrifugal force. We have learned in the application the centripetal force, the centrifugal force. Here this force making the bob to be in the what? Along the radius towards the center. Here the force which is making the ant an outward push, that is the pseudo force along the radius away from the center. Hence the non-inertial frame of reference. We can understand this, we can derive this by this method or this method, because both are same. So consider a point A, that is a rigid support. This is the point of suspension, and to the bob where we are having the center of gravity. Initially my bob is just having a simple period. I released and I got the angle formed by the string is theta, and the tension produced in the string, the tension imparted in the string as T. I have resolved the component T cos theta. I have resolved the horizontal component of tension T, that is T sin theta. That's why this is the alternate angle, so this also become theta. Okay, understand the geometry of the figure, because we are going to write all this detail. Without diagram you cannot derive it. So for getting this, the tension T in the string which has T cos theta balances mg, the radius vector, suppose this is the point C, center of the bob, so BC. So I will get ABC as a right angle triangle where the horizontal component T sin theta is going towards the center. So let's derive the formula for this. I will use this non-inertial frame of reference, as both are same magnitude wise, they are same, but direction wise they are opposite. Here the centripetal force towards the center, here the centrifugal force away from the center. So I'll rub this because I have to write the steps. Now what we have the component here, T cos theta balances mg, T sin theta balances the centrifugal force. So write T sin theta, the first step, T sin theta is equal to the centrifugal force. What is the magnitude of the centrifugal force? mr omega square. Now this is the same magnitude we are going to use in the inertial frame. They both are same, but direction wise only they are opposite. So here T sin theta is equal to mr omega square. Call this as your equation number 1. Now what is the another component? We have the vertical component. T cos theta is equal to mg. T cos theta is equal to mg. Try to make the diagram so that you can get all the steps here itself. Here T sin theta is equal to mr omega square. T cos theta is equal to mg. Call this as equation number 2. What are we going to find out in this derivation? We are finding the period, and this is the tension. Okay, so I will make this as T. Now divide equation 1 by 2. So T sin theta is equal upon T cos theta is equal to what you will get? mr omega square upon mg. Will get cancelled, tt will get cancelled. So only remaining is what? Tan of theta is r omega square upon g. Now what we get? Omega, that is the angular velocity, omega square is g tan of theta upon r. Therefore omega will become equal to what? Here only I will do. Therefore omega, or let it be, I will do one more steps, g under root g tan of theta upon r. Right? Here we got omega, that is angular velocity. Okay, and omega is equal to g tan theta upon r. Now as you will see, the point that is A, B, let this point as B, and this is the center. So this ABC will become a right angle triangle. So from trigonometric identity, I will get the value of the tan theta, as this is the angle formed by the bob and the string as theta. The radius vector, that is from point B to C, we have the radius r, and from point of suspension to the center of gravity, let the height as h, the height of the bob as h. So I can find out the value of the tan theta. So now you start writing the points, and here we will get the value of omega. That is, now first I will get the value of the tan theta. Okay, so here the tan theta is opposite upon adjacent, so r upon h will be the value of the tan theta. So let's put the value of omega is g, tan is r upon h, and upon already we have this r, so r will get cancelled, and I will get omega is equal to under root h g upon h. Now we are finding the expression for the period and the frequency. To get the period and the frequency, omega is equal to 2 pi upon t. T become equal to h, 2 pi upon what? Omega. I have just rearranged the term to get the value of the period. Okay. Now 2 pi upon omega, and what is the value of omega? Omega is equal to g by h. So here we are having the denominator, so I will take it. So here it will become h by g. Now t is equal to h upon g. As you will see this height, and now one more thing I can do, I have to get the frequency, and as you will see the geometry, the triangle ABC, so we can also find out that from the figure of the right angle triangle, cos theta is equal to what? H upon L, adjacent upon hypotenuse. So I can also do one more substitution of height. So here we have the cos theta in right angle triangle. Cos theta is what? H upon L. Therefore H become equal to L cos theta. Okay. Now T is 2 pi, yes, H as equal to L cos theta upon G. This is the expression for the period of the simple pendulum. Why I have put it in the form of L cos theta? Because the period of the simple pendulum, 11th standard in the chapter dimensions, we have done that. The period of the simple pendulum is given by T is equal to 2 pi under root L upon G. Okay, and here in case of the conical pendulum, 2 pi L cos theta upon G. All the factors are same, only the additional cos theta is coming over here. That's why here we have got the expression for the period of the conical pendulum as t equal to 2 pi L cos theta upon G. Now let's get the frequency. As we know, frequency is the reciprocal of the period. So what's that? The n become equal to, yes, 1 upon 2 pi under root G upon L cos theta. Okay, expression for the frequency is n is equal to 1 upon 2 pi G upon L cos theta. So we have considered by the non-inertial frame of reference, we got the expression for the frequency, we got the expression for the period of the simple pendulum, where we are using this expressions in case of numericals. Now the next video I will give you the vertical circular motion. Actually that is very comprehensive, so I have made the two part. So let's stop here and see and use this for the numericals to get the frequency and the period of the conical pendulum.